Outlander's penultimate season has just 3 episodes remaining, and things are finally beginning to come together. Hello Goodbye, written by Madeline Brestol and Evan McGahee, and directed by Jan Matthews, introduces fresh questions while also providing answers to some of the more persistent ones from Season 7 thus far, such as, where has Jimmy Blake Johnston Miller been, and where in the world is Lord John Grey David Barry now? The episode this week reminds us that the main fight is just getting started, even though it validates the existence of 2 very different Jeremiahs, one who was found and one who was sacrificed for their own sake. Outlander Season 7, Episode 13. Brianna handles the Jimmy situation on her own when we check in with Brianna Sophie Skelton. After using a pot to knock out Rob Cameron Chris Fulton, we find that she has bound her son's kidnapper and imprisoned him in Lallybrock's priest hole, which is no longer used in their time, but is ideal for holding Rob. However, Rob refuses to divulge information about Jimmy's whereabouts despite Brianna's initial interrogation techniques, which include verbal threats, a hand around his throat, and even a kick to the face. When Brianna tries to call the police to fill them in, she finds that Rob has disconnected Lallybrock's phone lines. We quickly learn that Rob has locked him up in the mines, but Jem also follows in his parents' footsteps and ultimately remembers Brianna's story about turning at the right split in the tunnel and flipping on all the breakers to turn on the lights. Given that he's suddenly standing in the headlights of a car on the service road going to the dam, it's possible that Jem discovers Brianna more often than Brianna does. Outlander Season 7, Episode 13 shows Ian and Rachel in newlywed bliss, as Ian, played by John Bell, and Rachel, played by Izzy Meikle Small, prepare for their wedding. The day back in Philadelphia is largely joyful, given that until very recently, everyone thought Jamie Sam Hewen was dead. There is an extra element of joy involved. Ian considers how important it is to have his uncle there when his own parents are unable to go. Jamie acknowledges that Claire Catriona Balfe was the more seasoned one on their own wedding night. But the subject quickly shifts to Ian's worries about what would happen after the wedding, because it will be Rachel's first time. Outlander Season 7, Episode 13 provides Roger with much necessary resolution. This week revisits Roger Richard Rankin and Buck Diarmaid murder in 1739, following an entire episode devoted to other storylines. When Buck begins to wax poetic about the mountains of Scotland, Roger is reminded of what Brianna had told him about feeling a pull like the stones surrounding the dam where she works. Naturally, the dam will no longer exist, but it's possible that stones that were in charge of transporting Roger's father back in time will be present in its stead. Retracing Jeremiah's possible route is the best course of action and might help them get closer to the man.